Hello everyone, in this video we're going to draw a zebra. First we'll draw a few simple shapes for a bit of structure, then we'll add the final drawing on top using easy line work, and then we'll color the drawing for the final result. I'll include a link for the materials used in the description below, and don't forget to leave a like and to subscribe. Let's jump in. Start by drawing a circle as a guide for the front part of the body. And an easy way to draw a circle is to first make a couple of small marks to indicate the circle's height, and then on the sides make a couple more small marks to indicate the circle's width. Then just connect the small marks using curved lines to finish the shape of the circle. And sketch lightly at first so that it's easy to erase if you make a mistake. And also pause the video as you follow along to draw at your own pace. And you don't have to draw a perfect circle, but if you're having trouble drawing one, just trace the outer edge of a cup or a lid or anything else with a circular edge. And now to the right, let's draw another circle as a guide for the back portion of the body. And let's draw it the same way, make a couple of small marks to indicate the sides of the circle. And then just connect the small marks using curved lines to finish the shape of the circle. And the back portion of the body will be hidden behind the front, so don't overlap the first circle as you draw this circle. And the two circles should be similar in shape, and pay attention to how close they are to each other. Now on the top left side, draw another circle as a guide for the head. And we'll draw this circle the same way. And place the circle not too far away from the body, or else the neck will be too long. And this circle should be about half the size of the first circle. Now let's draw a long sloping line across the head circle for a guideline. And draw this line close to the right edge of the circle. Don't draw it too close to the center of the circle. And pay attention to the length of the line. This will indicate at the bottom where the muzzle will go. So at the bottom, make a small mark, and that will be the tip of the muzzle. And then connect the small mark to the circle using curved lines to sort of form an arc-like shape. It's sort of similar to the letter U, but a tilted letter U. And now let's draw another arc at the top as a guide for the first ear. And zebras have pretty big ears, so don't make this arc too small. And draw another arc, but this one, draw it slightly tilting toward the left. And now below the first circle, draw a long vertical line as a guide for the front leg. And this line should be very long in relation to the body. It should be a little bit longer than the height of the first circle. And now draw an angled line on the left side as a guide for the other front leg. And let's bend this line near the middle, just to indicate that the leg is stepping forward. And now let's draw another long vertical line under the circle on the right as a guide for the hind leg. And now let's draw an angled line on the left side, because this leg will also be stepping forward. And bend the line at the bottom too, just to indicate the foot at the bottom. And now just connect the head to the body using a couple of sloping lines to create the guide for the neck. And that's it for the guidelines. Now let's start on the final drawing. Okay, lightly sketch a circle inside the head for the eye. And place the eye close to the sloping construction guide and right below the ear. And when you get the shape of the eye right, darken the lines. And as you darken the lines, make the shape slightly pointier on the sides to create the corners of the eye. And draw a couple of curved lines around the eye for creases on the skin. And inside the eye, if you have room, draw a tiny circle for a highlight. And then draw a sort of horizontal line, a thick horizontal line for the eye. And above the eye, draw a curved line for the thick brow. And the head is slightly turned, so you won't really be able to see the other eye, but just draw a curved line for the other brow on the other side of the head. And maybe draw an eyelash too, a short line for an eyelash peeking from behind the brow. And at the bottom, draw a small oval-like shape for the nostril. And pay attention to where this nostril is. It's below the edge of the circle and to the left of the sloping construction guide. And then just draw a couple of curved lines to indicate creases around the nostril. And now again, the other nostril won't really be visible, so just draw a curved line for the outer edge of the shape. And now just follow the basic path of the initial arc to create the front part of the muzzle. And at the bottom, curve the line up so that it's inside the arc to create the mouth. And draw another curved line at the bottom to create the chin. Now follow the basic path of the initial guidelines to create the rest of the muzzle. As you draw the muzzle, make it slightly thinner than the initial guides. And on the right side, curve the line up toward the eye to create the powerful jaw. And then connect the left side with the muzzle to create the side of the face. And you can add a couple of short lines just to give the muzzle more structure. And now draw the shape of the ear at the top using the arc on the right as a guide. So darken the shape of the arc, and inside draw a couple of curved lines for the ear's opening. And now let's draw a sloping line at the top just to extend the shape of the head slightly. The shape is slightly taller than the guides. So let's draw a sloping line that connects to the ear, and that'll make the head slightly taller. Now draw the other ear, same way as the first, darken the guide, and then add a curved line inside for the ear's opening. And at the top, draw an angled line, so a line that bends to the right at the top for the top part of the mane. And if you've made it this far, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And now let's move on to the body. And now let's use the second line from the left that's under the body as a guide to draw the front leg. So first, lightly sketch the shape of the leg around the guideline. And keep the edges of the leg close to the guide so that the overall shape is thin. And at the bottom, draw a small square-like shape for the hoof. And when you get the shape of the leg right, darken the lines. And make the top of the leg slightly wider than the bottom. And draw a curved shape in the middle of the leg to create a joint. And notice how thin the leg is at the bottom. And draw another curved shape near the bottom for another joint. And at the very bottom, draw a small square-like shape for the hoof. And now use the line to the left as a guide to draw the other front leg the same way. So first, let's start by sketching the shape of the leg around the guideline. And curve the shape of the leg along the path of the guide. And at the bottom, draw a small square-like shape for the hoof. And this hoof is pointing toward the right, so draw the square slightly tilted. And when you get the shape of the leg right, darken the lines. And draw an angled line at the top to indicate where the leg connects to the body. And now use the vertical line on the far right side as a guide to draw the hind leg the same way. And in the middle, draw a curved shape for a joint, and then make the bottom of the leg very thin. And at the very bottom, draw a small square-like shape for the hoof. And now use the angled line to the left as a guide to draw the last leg the same way. So first, lightly sketch the shape of the leg around the guide. Make the top part of the shape slightly wider than the bottom. And because this leg is stepping forward, you have to bend the middle section and create the joint. And at the bottom, draw a sort of circular shape to create the joint at the bottom, and then a small square-like shape for the hoof. And when you get the shape right, darken the lines. And now darken the outer edges of the initial guides to create the rest of the body. And at the bottom, draw a long curved line for the underside of the body. And on top of the neck, draw a long sloping line for the mane. And the mane sort of stands straight up like a mohawk, so just draw a long sloping line along the path of the neck. And at the bottom, draw a series of sloping lines for the tip of the tail. Now erase the initial guidelines. And you don't have to erase all of the guidelines. It's okay if you leave some behind. Now pick up some of the graphite using a kneaded eraser to lighten your drawing. Go over the final lines using permanent ink. Ink slowly and carefully to avoid any accidents. When the ink dries, erase the remaining pencil marks. Now add the distinctive stripes across the body. Curve the stripes so that they contour to the shapes. Bend the lines on the front part of the head to create a sort of diamond-like shape. Draw short stripes on the mane too. Leave the front part of the muzzle blank. Curve the stripes along the bottom part of the head. Add the stripes on the body but make them bigger. Curve the stripes along the shape of the neck. The stripes along the middle of the torso have a vertical orientation. Draw the stripes on the legs, but make them smaller and thinner the farther down you go. Draw the stripes along the back portion of the body extra wide and curve them to the right. There are different species of zebras, so you can draw your stripes differently if you'd like. Now add a bit of color to your drawing. I'm using markers to color, but you can use colored pencils too. Color the muzzle and the hoofs dark gray. Add a bit of light brown to the white sections. Use a light shade of gray to add shadows across the body. Shadows will give the figure more dimension and volume. Add a few dry blades of grass across the bottom using different shades of brown. Use short strokes to create a grassy texture. Go over the drawing with ink again to emphasize the shapes. And you can stop here, or you can add a background with the next few steps. Add some masking tape to the edges of your paper to create a white border after you finish coloring. Draw a horizontal line to create the horizon. Color in the grass on the ground using different shades of brown and yellow. Use short vertical strokes as you color to create a grassy texture. Draw the strokes long at the bottom and then gradually make them shorter toward the top. Use a bit of green for the grass too. The sections of grass that are higher up are farther away, so you won't really be able to see too much detail. Just color in these sections using solid colors instead of adding the small strokes. Make the top sections slightly lighter as well. Add a small tree in the background to create a sense of depth. Draw the trunk using a couple of angled lines and add the top part of the tree as a big clump. Now add the sky using different shades of blue. Use dark shades of blue at the top and then gradually use lighter shades of blue toward the bottom. Leave a few small curved shapes blank to create clouds. Add a few small curved shapes across the ground using different shades of green to create some bushes. Coloring can be time consuming, so be patient and take breaks. Keep coloring until you're happy with the result, and that's it for the zebra. Remember to pause the video to draw at your own pace. Also, please visit howtodrawanimals.com for more tutorials. That's how, and then the number 2, then drawanimals.com. If you'd like to support my channel, please consider buying my books on Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description below. Don't forget to leave a comment, to like the video, and to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep drawing.